Well, the Tennessee Titans have their offensive coordinator, Cory. The deal is done. Brian Daboll is the new Titans offensive coordinator. Of course, he was interviewing for the Bills head coaching job. They went ahead and promoted.
And the Raiders.
And the Raiders. That's right. Yeah, and they promoted Joe Brady from offensive coordinator to head coach. And Daboll's in Nashville, got the deal done, signed deal. I mean, are you happy with this, Cory? I think it's a good hire.
It's a follically challenged coaching staff.
It is. It certainly is. A lot
of hats, a lot of sunscreen. So, I mean, look at that.
You're right. You got Saleh, Daboll, and then
White Cotton.
Yeah, the whole squad.
And I think Randy Jordan, the running backs coach.
Lots of hats and beanies out on the sidelines this year, huh?
It's a good hire. I mean, look. You want to know how the team thinks it's a good hire? Because they immediately put out the press release once he signed the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, they sit on this stuff all the time and drag their feet on making it official and announcing it. As soon as it was official, they put it out there and said it's official. So the team views this as very good PR.
Yeah.
Because, there was a lot of competition for him, and they actually won. And so, no, I mean, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, this job's terrible. Nobody wants it. We can't get any of the best. And that's baloney.
It's baloney.
It's baloney. But so, we got two failed New York coaches coming together.
Try to see if they can make it work.
Make it in Nashville.
The good thing is he does have a history of working with quarterbacks who had a lot of success. Tom Brady, Brett Favre, Josh Allen, most recently Jackson Dart in New York, who had a great rookie year. I mean, is this good news for the development of Cam Ward?
Well, I think they think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, this was Robert Saleh's plan. He had laid out, not just plan A, but plan B and C for Cam Ward for offensive coordinator. And if you're going to hire a defensive-minded head coach, you've got to have a good plan for offense. Now, I will say this. Cam throws for 4,000 yards and 29 touchdowns this year. Very good chance this guy's a head coach somewhere next year. But you know what? You tackle that problem when you get to it. You don't avoid good people because you're afraid they leave. I know for me, when I have input on who we bring in, I want those people to achieve better.
Yeah.
I mean, you come in, be the weekend sports anchor, and then go be the sports director somewhere else. I don't want you to take my job, but I do expect you to want more. Now, I want Julian to stay as long as he wants to stay.
Absolutely.
But, along those lines, if you're Robert Saleh and Brian Daboll's a head coach next year, it means you guys had a pretty good year.
Absolutely.
And by the way, if you have you've got Cam Ward after 2 years, you're going to be able to attract some good candidates to replace Daboll if your offense is rolling that well. So there's really nothing about this that isn't good. Now, Paul Kaharski did report it's a 3-year contract.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see if he's here for 3 years. I'm skeptical, but we'll see.
I guess it's, like you said, it's kind of good news if he does move on because that means he had success here as an offensive coordinator.
It's great. It means you guys had a good year.
Exactly.
And look, I know everybody thought the Giants' job was as good as the Titans' job. The Giants have $9 million in cap space. The Titans have $100 million.
Yeah.
And so if they can spend wisely and draft and develop, they could be markedly better next year. And by the way, when you look at their schedule and the Patriots and Bears schedule,
it's a lot different.
One was a gauntlet.
Yeah.
The other was not. And so it sounds like I'm making a lot of excuses. I'm not. They weren't a good football team, especially the first 8-10 games of the season. They were a terrible football team.
Yeah. But
I'm merely pointing out why they could be set up for a fairly dramatic turnaround next year. That's all I bring. And I'm not saying they're going to win 12 games or whatever. But, if they go and win 8-9 games next year, don't be stunned.
Yeah. I will say the excitement has kind of turned around. It was kind of like, doom and gloom. And now I go on my Twitter and it's like future's bright in Nashville. You got Brian Daboll, Robert Saleh, 4th pick in the draft, Cam Ward, new stadium.
The White Cotton signing yesterday was also a very big deal.
Yeah.
He's a defensive line coach. He was with Saleh in New York with the Jets. Quinnen Williams just glows about him. So, look, Tracy Rocker was a good coach here. Jeffrey Simmons did pretty well. Yeah. But, now Jeff gets a look from somebody else who's highly respected. And, by the way, going to have to play a different defense into a 4-3, which, by the way, the Titans were 3-4, but they were very multiple. They lined up 4-3 a lot.
Yeah.
So playing 4-3 is not going to be something like Jeff's like, oh, what do I do? I mean,
He knows what he's doing.
He's going to blow through the line and hit the quarterback.
Yeah,
That's what he's going to do.
He'll get back there no matter what. Yeah. I mean, what do you expect this offense to look like under Daboll? I mean, he ran a lot of RPOs with the Giants last year. So he was 4th in the NFL in RPOs. And I know Cam Ward had a ton of success at Miami with RPOs. So I think we will see a lot more of that than we saw this year for sure. That's at least one thing.
What kind of run game does he like to run?
I mean, it's different. I mean,
their run game was terrible.
We saw he didn't do anything with Saquon Barkley, unfortunately. But I mean, like I said, the players really like this guy. I will say that. You know, he doesn't really come off as like, you know, the players coach. But I will say, I think the locker room's really going to rally along with this guy and Sal. I think they have two good leaders in that locker room now. Now it's bringing in the defensive coordinator as that third piece. As you said, not really as important with Saleh calling the plays, but obviously still a big part of the coaching staff for sure.
You know, I'm really interested to see if he takes Cam out of the pocket more. I mean, because obviously Jackson Dart was very mobile.
Yeah, almost a little too mobile.
No, not almost.
Yeah,
but that was his decision.
Exactly.
But Josh Allen, also a mobile quarterback who they like to get out of the pocket too. I wonder if they decide to do that with Cam some. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles him, and you know. I do expect him, because you talk about all the RPOs with Jackson Dart. Why would he do that? Because that's what Jackson Dart does well.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what we talked about with Brian Callahan not doing with Cam Ward, is focusing on what he and the team can do well.
Yeah.
He just wanted to run his plays. And there was a ton of deep shots down the field, and Cam got killed. His completion percentage was low.
Yeah.
And then as the new coaching staff took over, they threw a lot more short stuff, and I'm not talking about screens, which Callie loved as well.
He did.
But they threw a lot more short stuff, you know, that was easier and allowed the players to do the work for him some more. The completion percentage came up, the touchdowns came up, the running game improved. So we'll see how he works them off of this. I mean, because I don't care what system he runs, as long as it's a system that best suits the players he's got.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. And, of course, you know, the Titans obviously are going to need to bring in some more pieces on the offensive side of the ball to give Daboll some weapons. I mean, specifically receiver, it seems like they're going to probably make a move for someone in the offseason, you think, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to bring in a veteran. And they're probably going to sign one and draft one.
Yeah.
That's what
not
I
with
would think.
Not early, like kind of a later pick.
I mean, it could be 4.
You really think so?
Sure. Could if there's a guy that they love at 4, it could be. I think it's more likely in the second. I think they're more likely to take an edge, a defensive end at 4, and then take, because it's a deeper receiver draft, and you could probably take one in the second, but maybe they don't even do that. Maybe they take one in the third. Maybe they take one in the fourth. I mean, you know. But I you know, because you've got 2 guys that you're developing that you really like, and then if you sign a veteran, you know, I don't know who. I mean, Juwan Jennings is, you know, comes to everybody's mind.
Heard that name a lot,
because he's from here, and he's a good football player. There are some other, you know, Wan'Dale Robinson, former New York Giant.
Yeah, he's good,
but he's a slot, right?
He is,
which is largely what Chim is. So
true.
You know, you don't want to sign guys where you take Ellick and Chim off the field. You're going to want to sign a guy who complements those 2 guys. And so that's going to be interesting to see, because they're going to need to sign somebody. So like I said, draft one, sign one. How high they draft, that remains to be seen.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. Things are looking up for sure. I'm excited to see what this offense and defense looks like under these 2 guys.